Welcome to another edition of Great Health, Abundant Happiness, and Outrageous Love. What do you want to talk about today, my love?
Today I want to talk about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That doesn't sound too easy.
It sounds interesting though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, how do you get comfortable with being uncomfortable?
Well, for example, we decided that we were going to go camping, and we have not, in the history of our relationship, we've talked about it a lot, and we've never done it. And mainly because neither one of us is comfortable with any knowledge about camping, right? Both of us camped when we were much, much younger, but together, we've never camped. So we started talking about it, and then we did a hike, and we ran into this amazing hiker, and she was so inspiring to us.
She may be watching, but give her a shout out.
Shout out. Well, I don't want to mention her name in case she's on her own private journey.
All right.
But you know who you are.
Exactly.
And it was really our honor to meet you.
She was our inspiration to go out and buy all this gear that I have on my back,
exactly. And I've got Sugar Baby. I think she's tucked down on my back. But, we had just been talking about it, and we're on the trail, and here we run across this amazing woman who's hiking the Colorado Trail from start to end on her own. It's over 470 miles.
Yeah, 480 something miles. Yeah. I think it's Denver to Durango, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And anyway, we had been pretty excited. We were just talking about it, but we didn't know a lot about it. So we had a lot of uncomfortableness. And I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the most uncomfortable feelings about it was sleeping in the woods, and I hate to even say this, but not worrying about our safety while we're sleeping in the woods. And here's this woman who's in her 20s doing it by herself, and we saw many other people passing doing this by themselves, and that was, I think, our most uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, we just got back from Grand Tetons and Yosemite.
Nope, I wish. That's next.
Jellystone, yeah.
Jellystone.
That's why I was Yogi Bear. Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Yeah, Jellystone was Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. But anyway, so we were out there and we're hiking, and basically saw these signs like, "Are you ready for a bear attack?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" In red letters and like this big bold thing. Make sure you're making noise, and you blah, 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 and you make sure you have your bear spray. We're like, bear spray? So,
$50 later, we got our
bear spray. But we met some rangers and stuff, and they said, where there are grizzlies, I mean, it's not to be taken lightly.
No.
You have to bring protection, and, you have to watch out and make the noise. You don't want to go up and surprise a bear. Right. We have bears here, but they're black bears. So as long as you don't come up and surprise them, if you don't come up to a mama bear, are you looking up there to see if they're coming?
No, I heard a bird back
there.
there.
But a mama bear with her cubs can be really dangerous. So,
absolutely.
I mean, and you read all this stuff about when you start researching. Oh, you need a bear canister or something that blocks all the scent of your food because you don't want to have food out in your tent because they're not coming to harm you. They're just coming because they smell the scent of the food. They're hungry.
Exactly.
Right?
And to take it a step further, we're all so comfortable with our luxuries. And 3 years ago, Jeffrey and I sold, the big house in the suburbs. We gave away about 98% of our stuff, and we moved up to the mountains in 1,000 square feet. And what we realized is we still have so many luxuries,
right?
Which you really appreciate once you hit the trail and you're sleeping outside on the ground. And,
Well, I tell you what, to your point, that was one of my biggest epiphanies outside. We're loving camping. We're going to go back again. We're on the Colorado Trail right now, just kind of doing a little test hike before we go back to dinner back home. We live out here on Copper Mountain, which the trail runs through. But one of my biggest epiphanies was, I don't think we really even talked about this as you're bringing it up. If you want to become a minimalist, do that, that, yes, but also operate from a position of gratitude.
Big time.
Go out there and pull your water out of a stream and have to filter it, or sleep on the hard ground, or maybe it's colder than you'd like to admit at night, pitch black,
or maybe you have to dig a hole to go to the bathroom, right?
I don't know if you want to go there.
all I'm saying is it makes you grateful for things like toilets, coffee makers, your bed, your covers, all of the things that we take for granted.
Right.
That, you know, we don't even assume those to be luxuries, but the reality is that they really, truly are luxuries. And we're just so fortunate and grateful to have those things.
Right.
And so this getting comfortable with being uncomfortable has been such an amazing experience so far for Jeffrey and I, because we finally were inspired by this, you know, this woman that we met, and we did it. In fact, we actually did it the very next day. We went to REI, we got all the gear we thought we needed, and we packed up way more than we definitely needed, and we headed out and we camped, and it was just an amazing experience. And what we learned while we were out there was we had way too much stuff.
Right.
We didn't need all those things while we're out in the woods. So we hiked back the next day. I think we did what, eight or 9 miles out and 8 or 9 miles back. So we hiked back the next day and we made a list of the essentials that we definitely need, and we put the weight of what it is. So we knew how much we would each be carrying. And you know, we do have Sugar Baby. For those of you who follow us, Sugar Baby, or who don't and don't know about Sugar Baby, she's 14, she's our little rescue, and she's completely blind. So she goes in this pack. She's not out now, she's down sleeping, but so I have her and the pack, so I'm already over 13 pounds before I carry
Before
any.
you pack anything.
Before I pack anything.
Except
And
the
Jeffrey, my hero, you know, his pack, and he takes the tent, and we have a double sleeping bag, and we just ordered something that we learned is a sleeping pad, because if you are sleeping on the hard ground and it's cold, the pad gives you some insulation, but also if you tend to be a side sleeper, and again, this is a luxury, a sleeping pad, and if you're a side sleeper and you sleep on your hips, you really do need something like that. So Jeffrey carries all of those things, and I have to tell you, when I was writing in our gratitude book, we have a love book and a gratitude book that we write in every day for each other. The very first thing that I wanted him to know I was grateful for was that he carried the majority of you know, the items that we needed.
Oh, it's
new,
my pleasure. I say that just note to self, if you're going to do this, when you put it on, you're back home, you're like, this isn't so bad. Climbing up a mountain, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier as you go. But we're going to be really good this time, and
I'm excited.
we're going to shave some of it off. I am excited. We don't have quite everything in here that we're going to take with us, but it's easier.
But we will be bringing this gear with us wherever we go, in case we find a place where we can hike and backpack overnight.
Yeah,
because
now we're comfortable with it.
Now we're comfortable with it, and it's just so amazing. And if we didn't get comfortable with something we were uncomfortable with, we never would have this exhilaration. And I have to say, I'm just going to put a plug out there, because this was something we'd never done. It's breathtaking. Oh, and I just want to add in the nature. We love wildlife and nature. Jeffrey was so blessed to see a lynx.
Yeah, I was up early. I
gosh.
get up a little earlier than Karen. I was sitting out in the campsite, and not many people see them. They're pretty stealth.
Yes.
You know, they're here in Colorado. Some people call it a snow lynx. They love the snow, but it's like, you know, the size of a mountain lion, and it's got, you know, whiskers. And look it up. It's pretty amazing.
They are so cool looking. And I sat up to look at it. We had the door open, but because it was the first time pitching our tent, we had it on a slant, and we didn't have the pad. And when I sat up, I slid down to the bottom of the tent where there was no window.
Wasn't that bad.
So
come on, it was already gone anyway.
It was no. But we're learning. We're learning that you need to pitch the tent in the light, so that you know that you do it on flat ground.
Right.
And that's what's so fun. We have so many fun stories from our very first camping trip, and when we head out for our second one, we anticipate it's going to be that much more you know, fun and exciting and adventurous.
Because now we're comfortable.
Exactly. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from the Colorado Trail.
I'll see you guys. Thank you.